Today, we're going to chat about what it takes to achieve your business goals regardless of obstacles.
You're listening to the Pro Organizer Studio podcast with Jen Obermeyer. Thank you for joining in. Jen makes it her mission to broaden the horizons of savvy businesswomen in the organizing industry by instilling confidence and inspiring authenticity. She is a devoted business coach and founder of the Inspired Organizer program. Each week, you'll gain new insight into strategies designed specifically for professional organizers. And now, let's get started.
You can be sure that life will at times be a twisting path of potholes around which you must navigate. You've likely been through phases of your life already where you wondered if your luck was ever going to change. Then things calmed down and you discovered the smoother, straighter road. My story about becoming a professional organizer is really part of a larger narrative of gaining control over my own mindset and my own life. The fact that I could just use skills from my previous job experiences and get started right away as a professional organizer absolutely compelled me to launch my business. That was back in 2014. I need you to know, though, that I was not the confident person you know now at that time. I had no clue how I was going to provide the life I wanted for myself and my kids on my own after getting divorced. I mean, yes, I had a college degree and I had business experience, but now that I was on my own, I didn't even have my own computer. So I locked myself in a friend's office for a long weekend in the summer of 2014 and came out with a website. Shortly after that, I got my first client ever through a Facebook ad. And that day that I walked out of that first ever consultation with a check for over $2,000, I knew that something major had changed in my life. I had researched the ever-living you-know-what out of the organizing industry as I was launching, and I knew that this was not the typical result. I had done something differently, and I had done it right. So something inside me also truly smiled peacefully that day and has never stopped smiling since then, because I realized that I had the knowledge of how to turn my skills into real money and that no one was ever going to be able to take that away from me. So I'm not saying that every moment after that was easy, but I truly experienced a shift in what I believed I could do for myself and what I could be for other people through becoming a professional organizer. So regardless of where your journey leads, it's important to be able to continue making progress to meet the goals that you've established for yourself. Through the tough times, staying focused on what you want in life will keep your spirits high and bring you joy. So the key then to a fulfilled life is to actually achieve your goals no matter what obstacles are in front of you. In this episode, I'm going to give you 5 strategies that you can always use to keep obstacles from stopping you. So try these tips to continue going for your goals even when life's road gets rough. Number 1, you got to know exactly what you're after in life. What do you want your life to be like? I mean, I have pretty much known I wanted to work for myself since I was a kid. And then even more recently, I used to daydream about being in the kind of marriage that I'm in now. And I even used to drive past the neighborhoods where I eventually got organizing jobs. And at that time, I was wishing I could just have the chance to step inside houses like those. So when you're sure about what you want, you can then plan your activities over the short and long term to help you achieve your goals. So tip number 2, keep your list of life goals short and to the point. Some good examples of life goals would be like save 25% of my yearly earnings for my kids' education, our vacations, and my retirement fund. Or maybe something like take budget-friendly vacations out of the country every 5 years. Another one might even be retire when I'm 67 or heck, 47. I believe in the power of numbers, no matter how big the goal is. When you have numbers, you can break your goals down into actual projects to work on. Tip number 3. You need to infuse elements of achieving your goals into your everyday life. Let's say that one of your goals, a trip out of the country, will be to Paris 3 years from now. So you should have a couple of books about Paris laying around the house, on your coffee table and your nightstand. You should listen to music from France on your Pandora station and follow Parisian fashion accounts on Instagram and watch French movies. Everything it takes for you to immerse yourself in it and make it real. Having reminders and tasks to do that are related to meeting your life goals, such as travel throughout your home, is going to be a game changer. As professional organizers, we know how powerful the stuff around us can be. So I urge you to get rid of the things that keep you stuck in a small mindset or don't remind you of where you're going. Make your life goals part of your everyday life so that even when times get bumpy, and they will, you'll be able to keep your eyes on what's really, really important to you. Tip number 4, talk positively to yourself. Now, I know that's different for everyone, but really, it can be quite helpful to use positive self-talk. When you do, you'll be more likely to keep working toward your goals in life. So you can say something like, well, right now I'm in a rough patch, but I will still keep saving for my retirement and my kids' educations. Something else I still say a lot to myself is this: I know it's hard, but you have to push yourself. I say that to myself, and then somehow I do push myself. I have also been known to say to myself more than once, if so-and-so can do this, so can I. And that works really well for me too. I really have learned over the years that I actually thrive on challenge. Other examples of positive self-talk would be, I can get through this challenging phase just like I did before, building on your previous successes. Or something like, as long as I keep moving forward, things will be okay. Or life has in store many more wonderful adventures for me. Using any kind of positive self-talk like this will keep your spirits up when you feel like you're floundering in choppy waters or just when you flat out feel like quitting. You absolutely have to figure out what words tend to motivate you and continue to tell them to yourself daily as opposed to waiting to hear it from somewhere else. Tip number 5, reflect on your efforts in order to reinforce them. So that means even though you may be struggling, think about what you did accomplish even just this week to achieve your goals. Maybe you made a couple of phone calls, Googled and researched business stuff on your lunch break, or you drew up a brand new budget to ensure that you're on target for saving for your life goals. The fact is, you did something. And taking a moment to recognize that will reinforce your efforts in your quest to achieve your goals. I promise you absolutely can excel in times of great challenge. Above all, you have to stay inspired. Keep working toward accomplishing your goals, even though life throws out more than a few obstacles at you. You've got to know what you're after, and you've got to stay focused. Make your life goals a part of your daily life and use positive self-talk. And don't forget to acknowledge what you've done to keep moving forward. Guys, the old me, the self that I was before being tested with the challenges of single mom life, would have given up because I didn't want to look silly or stupid. That fear alone was enough to stop me from trying things. What's different about me now is that I'm motivated to keep going no matter what anyone else says, because I simply don't want to die with my music still inside me. I hope that you'll apply some of these strategies to help you consistently work to meet your life goals. If you do, you'll accomplish whatever you want, no matter what. So here's what I want you to do just for today. Just notice what you say to yourself today. For one day, can you just write them down so that you can potentially revisit the things that tend to show up a lot, and then later you can dig into them further? How much of that self-talk is negative? And how do you think that this negative self-talk influences your attitude and the results you're getting? Also, how do you think it affects your ability long-term to overcome life's obstacles? If you enjoyed this episode, definitely please share it with a friend and leave a review for Pro Organizer Studio on iTunes. I'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Organizers Studio podcast. If you'd like to learn more about time-saving services and resources for professional organizers, visit www.proorganizerstudio.com. And if you'd like to get Jen's roadmap to success for launching and growing your professional organizing business, go straight to www.proroadmap.com.